Hello, Frugal fans. This is the Frugal Gamer, and today I'm going to be presenting a review of the Atari Flashback 5. Now, this is the fifth installment of producing classic Atari games in a one-unit-fits-all, where the first one started with just a controller. So you see here, it has a unit, has two controllers, reset, select, start, and an on and off, and the other controller, too, doesn't have that on that. Now, also, I show you that's the little wireless sensor. There's the buttons and the controller. Believe it or not, the controllers work very, very nice. On the front panel, there's the inputs to plug them in, wired controllers, as well as the sensor to pick up the controllers. Now, be warned, one thing about this unit I found is you have to make sure that the controllers are set up higher than the sensor. If there's the slightest bit blocking the sensor, you will not be able to move. The joystick movement won't work. For some reason, the push button tends to, but the joystick component doesn't. Now, to start using this unit, it's plug and play. You simply plug those two in, and it's mono. One white for audio, yellow for video, and plug the wall wart unit in to the wall. Now, for this review, I used a classic old school TV because I just felt like that was the idea, the best way to go. Now, the Atari Flashback 5 was released on October 1st, 2014, and like the previous two, it was built by AtGames. It's the same as the Flashback 4, but with the wireless joysticks and 17 more games. So this unit has a total of 92 games. Now, if you see here, the navigation, as I said, it looks a little bad because I'm recording this on an old tube TV just for the effect. If you push to the right, you go to the next set of games, so it's a little weird for navigation. You use up and down to navigate through the games. So if you go through the first column on the left and you want to get to the second, you have to push down and keep going until you get there. If you push right, it moves to the next page out of your 10 pages of games. Now, this does have some very great classic games, but yet it does seem to miss some too, which makes me go, why aren't these included? Now, for example, it has, of course, the classic here. You've got to have Space Invaders on any Atari, and I'd also show a little bit of Jungle Hunt. Now, notice if you have a rounded bottom TV and you don't have it set just right, it could cut off some of the information like your level and things like that, which happened on the old school uh, Atari systems. Now, if you use a flat screen TV, which I've also tested this on, I didn't have this issue. So be warned, if you're using old tube TV to do this, you'll get issues like that. With cutoff, whereas a flat screen, I didn't have any of those issues whatsoever. Granted, now it's 92 games. It's Atari, so do not expect spectacular graphics. You have to remember the time this was made, so I'm reviewing it with that in mind. Okay? So with that in mind, you get a lot of games. The good is, one, you do get a lot of games. Two, it's easy plug and play. It's not too expensive. I'll have that in the info bar what its current price is going for. The navigation is okay. So overall, it's very usable, easy to play, and you know what? It takes you back to a time you remember you just played games simply because they're fun. And for that, I strongly would recommend it. Now the negatives. One is the navigation. As I said here, it's not the greatest, but it's not bad. You have to push left and right to go to pages. You have to scroll up and down. I tend to, every time I want to go to the column to the right, I push to the right and switch pages. Two, it'll cut off on the screen unless you're using a flat screen. Hopefully not a problem. Now, there isn't any spectacular upgrades to any of these games, but that's not what I was expecting. So if you are a classic game enthusiast, this is probably for you. If you are one of those that has to have the update graphics and the newest thing, you'd probably pass on this. But once again, as I said, if you want to get back into some retro gaming, I would strongly recommend this unit. It's a lot of fun. Once again, and the last thing to top off the negatives, the controllers. Make sure you have a direct line of sight with the controllers. Otherwise, if your controller's a little lower, would say, and you have the game system on a table, it might miss your connection. Alright, well that's my review of the Flashback 5. I hope you found it useful. Have a great day and keep it frugal.